Hey everyone. So this is part 2 of Microsoft Purview Masterclass. In the part 1, we learned more about information protection. There were a few additional things I wanted to cover. So in this, we will cover about insider risk management, device-based data loss prevention policy creation. How do you create policies to prevent any sort of data leakage for generative AI technologies, things like that. I hope you find this one useful. I will see you on the next one. Take care. First, let's go and sign into the Purview lab by going into purview.microsoft.com. If you get this message, if you are using for the first time, there is a new update we are doing in terms of making the portal a brand new layout. So please take some time to actually navigate through it to understand what other things are changing. On the left hand side, you can see that there is a easy access to solutions. If you click on solutions, you can see on a super high level all the solutions what we offer within the Purview portal. So let's click on audit just to make sure if the audit is turned on. If you see this message like start recording user admin activities, that means that your tenant is not turned on to receive or use for auditing purposes. So click on that, and that will enable your tenant to use for any sort of auditing and compliance purpose. So that's how you can enable auditing in Microsoft Purview. Next, let me show you how you can enable onboarding of devices in your Purview portal. On the left-hand navigation sidebar, you can see there is an option called settings. Click on settings. Under settings, there are many options called account, roles and scope, data connectors, but underneath that you can find there is an option called device onboarding. Expand that option and click on devices, and here you can see on the right hand canvas that no device is onboarded yet because we have not turned on the device onboarding. So click on turn on device onboarding to turn device onboarding on. So when you turn this on, any devices that are already onboarded to the Microsoft Defender endpoint will appear in the device list. So if it is not onboarded, then we can actually start the process in the onboarding page. So click OK. So you can see that the device monitoring is turned on. It may take like up to 5 minutes to become active. I did a quick refresh and we got this page after a couple of minutes. That means that now we are ready to onboard new devices. In the next exercise, we are going to learn how you can onboard a device to endpoint data loss prevention. So what we are going to do is we are going to go under device onboarding, click on onboarding, and we are going to onboard a Windows 11 device. This particular device what we are working at the moment. So under onboarding, you can choose a operating system. I think it starts with Windows 10. There is an option for Mac operating system as well. That is quite good. Under deployment method, there are various methods you can onboard the devices, either using group policy or SCCM or Intune or VDI onboarding script. We are going to use the first option called local script. You can onboard up to 10 devices. Go and download the package. Click on download the package. And once the package is downloaded, click on open the folder and extract the folder, extract your device. Now within that, you can see there's a script. Because it is protected, I'm going to right click on that script, go to properties, and under security, you can see that this file came from another device. It might be blocked to help protect this computer. I'm going to say that unblock, click on apply, and click OK. And let's go and run this. Oh, I basically want to run it as an administrator. So right click, run as an administrator. Yes to confirm it. Yes to confirm it, and run it. All right, it is starting the required service and successfully onboarded the devices to Microsoft Defender for endpoint. All right, so the device onboarding is complete. Now close this. So when you onboard a device with this, you can be pretty sure that it is being protected by the endpoint DLP policy. So that's how you onboard a device to protect with data loss prevention. Next, let's go and learn about data security posture management, or DSPM for AI. So for that, I'm going to click on solutions. If you scroll down, there is a new option called data security posture management preview. Click on that. So here what we are going to do is we are going to explore the DSPM for AI recommendation to find the best security policies for a particular company, and these recommendations focus on data protection, detecting risky behavior, and ensuring compliance with AI standards like NIST AI risk management framework. So within data security posture management, first to enable analytics, click on turn on analytics. Read through that. This is going to enable DLP, insider risk management, information protection, and things like that. I'm going to click on turn on DSPM. And then for data security posture management for AI, even within that, you can go under solutions. There is a solution called DSPM for AI. Click on that, and within that, click on recommendations. This is the place where you can come and see what are the recommendations it is suggesting to protect your organizations on using the AI solution. So here you can see that the first option is fortify your data security. So click on this. So this particular policy or this particular recommendation talks about creating DLP policy using adaptive protection to block or warn users with elevated risk from pasting or uploading sensitive information into AI applications such as Edge, Chrome, or Firefox. Within this recommendation itself, you have create policies or dismiss this recommendation. I'm going to click on create policies, and that is going to automatically apply the recommendation what we have gone through. So that particular policy has been created from protecting us from either warning the user or blocking the users with uploading sensitive information to AI application. So similarly, you can actually go through other recommendations available. It's quite simple, straightforward. You can see there is an option called protect your data with sensitivity label. If you want to use this, go and configure that. And there are a few other recommendations which we have not started, like insider risk management and things like that. We will come to that later. Next, let's go and learn how we can create a DLP policy. DLP is nothing but data loss prevention. So I'm going to click on solutions. Here we can find data loss prevention. Click on that. Within that, on the left hand side, you can find policies. Click on policies. There are some policies by default available within your tenant, but to create a policy, all you have to do is click on create a policy. Either you can start with a template or create a custom policy. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a custom policy. So under categories, if you don't want to use any of the predefined templates, click on custom, and within that, click on custom policy and click next. Give a name for the data loss prevention policy we are trying to create. So we are going to create a policy for generative AI sharing DLP policy, and the description is to prevent sharing of sensitive data with generative AI platforms. Click next. This is where you need to assign to an administrative unit. We are not adding any administrative units. Click on next. This is where you need to choose where to apply this policy. So by default, it is turned on for Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, devices, and things like that. I'm gonna uncheck all of that. We can actually test all of that, but I just want to show you the devices here because that is what we onboarded. So just select devices and click next. We are not going to define any sort of policy settings. Click next. So under define policy settings, make sure you retain the create or customize advanced DLP rules and click next. Within here, customized advanced DLP rules, click on create rule. Let's close this flyout. We're going to give a name. So I'm going to give a sensitive data protection rule, and the description is detect and restrict sharing of sensitive information with generative AI applications. And scroll down till you find condition, click on add a condition, and within that select contains. Under default, click on add sensitive information types, and on the sensitive information types, I'm going to select credit card and select add. Under actions, if you scroll down, click on add an action, and I'm going to select audit and restrict activities on devices. Within that, if you scroll down, there are various options called service domain and upload to restricted cloud service domain or access to unallowed browsers. Click on choose different restriction for sensitive service domains. Click on add group and select the generative AI websites and click on add. And within the sensitive service domain restriction, under generative AI website, there are many actions you can pick. Audit only, block. So I'm going to select block and click save and save the policy. And here I'm going to select, let's go and edit. There is one more action we need to configure. Click on edit. Under sensitive domain and browser activities, select the paste to supported browsers and click on choose different restriction for sensitive service domain and add group. Here we're going to select sensitive. Here we're going to select generative AI websites, and under action we're going to select block and save. And for both of these rules there are two options. There are many options: audit only, block, or things like that. I'm just going to retain audit only. If you scroll down you can find other settings and policies as well. Let's go and find the user notification option. By default the user notification is turned off. I'm going to turn this on. And under endpoint devices, show users a policy tip notification when an activity is restricted. So this is turned on when you select block for an activity in Windows and click on save. Now to complete this process, click on next. I'm going to say that run this policy in a simulation mode. You can turn on the policy immediately or leave the policy turned off, and click next and submit. So you have learned how to successfully create an endpoint DLP policies in a simulation mode. So how do you activate a policy in a simulation mode? So let's wait for this to complete. Alright, so now that the policy is created, click done. Now if you go back to the policies and if you scroll down, you will be able to find the Gen AI sharing DLP policy we created just now. Let's select that. You can see all the configuration what we have done if you want to review it, and the policy status is sync is in progress. So if you want to turn on, all you have to do is click on this ellipsis, or we have to wait for that to turn on. So you can see that the sync is in progress. If you click on view simulation, oh yeah, it's currently in progress. If you want to turn this policy on, there is an option called turn the policy on that asks you for any sort of confirmation, confirm, and the policy is published successfully. Next, let's go and learn how you can create an insider risk management policy. So on the Purview, if you go under settings and all the option under settings, you can see insider risk management. Click on that. Inside the insider risk management settings, scroll down the navigation till you find the policy indicators. And within that, there are many options like office indicators, device indicators. Scroll down. You can find risky browser indicators as well. So expand that. So if you want to track risky activities that could expose sensitive information, this is where you will come and turn this on. So I'm going to select all. And at the bottom, if you want to go through other options, you can see there is a generative AI apps as well. Copilot experience, enterprise AI apps, things like that. Click on save. So that's how we can configure insider risk setting to enable your organization to track any sort of risky browsing activities. Next, let's go and learn how to create an insider risk policy. So go under solutions. Here find insider risk management. Click on that. Here under insider risk management, click on policies. Click on create a new policy. There are two options, quick policy or custom policy. Let's select the custom policy. So here there are plenty of templates available. Let's go ahead and choose one of the templates. So what we are after is risky browser usage. So on the left hand side, scroll down till, oh yeah, I can see risky browser usage. Click on that and click next. That will populate all the details from the template. So if I go back, let's quickly see. You can already see that the devices are onboarded. That is required. Microsoft Purview extension need to be installed and at least one browsing indicator selected. So that is all good for us so far. So now click on next. Give a name. So give a name. I'm going to call it sensitive data protection, and description to understand what it is. Track and protect against risky browsing activities. Click next. Who do you want to deploy to? I'm going to choose all users and groups. Next. I don't want to exclude any users. Do you want to prioritize any content? I just don't want to prioritize at the moment. Choose triggering event for the policy. What are the triggering events? This is where we will see the indicators we enabled in the previous task. So we're going to leave all of this open or checked. Click next. I'm going to apply to all built-in thresholds. That is the recommended one. Click next. Under indicators, Let's select the risky browser indicators preview, and let's make sure that all of these are selected. Click next. I'm going to select apply thresholds provided by Microsoft. Click next and submit. Alright, so that's how you will go ahead and create a policy for protecting any sort of sensitive data. So now your organization can detect and address any sort of risky browser behaviors that may expose sensitive data. It can take up to 24 hours to successfully run this. So you can see that sensitive data, it's showing as healthy at the moment. Next, let's go and learn how to create an adaptive protection policy. Inside the insider risk management, there is an option called adaptive protection. So click on that. What we are going to do is we are going to configure adaptive protection by selecting insider risk level and enabling adaptive protection in insider risk management. So this is going to ensure that our DLP policies dynamically adjust based on user behavior and risk levels. So within this adaptive protection, click on insider risk levels. Under the insider risk level, we have an option to choose the policy. This is what we created just now, sensitive data protection. Select that. And I'm going to keep the default option for at the moment, condition for insider risk levels, elevated risk level, things like that. Click on save. Now let's go to adaptive protection settings and let's turn this on and click on save. So that's how you can enable adaptive protection in insider risk management. Now let's go and understand more about Microsoft Purview Insider Risk Management. On the Purview portal, on the top ribbon, on the right hand corner, you can see there is a settings option. Click on that. Within that, click on roles and scopes. Here you can see under Microsoft Entra ID, there are role groups and role scope. So I'm going to select role groups. On the role groups for Microsoft Purview solutions, we are going to select insider risk management admin. So go and find that. You can see that over here, insider risk management admin. Click on that. Click on edit the membership. Here click on choose users. So I'm going to add a user, Johnny Sherman. Select that user and click next and save and click on done. Alright, so now we have given enough privileges for Johnny Sherman to do specific task for insider risk management. Now let's go and configure the prerequisites for policies. So let's go to security.microsoft.com. So most insider risk management policies have prerequisites that must be configured for policy indicators to generate relevant activity alerts. To configure appropriate prerequisite depending on the policies you plan to configure for your organization, we have to configure this in the Microsoft Defender portal. So that's why we went into security.microsoft.com. So here on the left hand navigation pane, scroll down till you find system, expand that. Under that there is something called settings. Click on that option. Here click on cloud apps. Inside that, on the left hand navigation, scroll down till you find connected apps. Click on app connectors under connected apps and you can see that M365 is available. So click on Microsoft 365 and select that and click on connect Microsoft 365 and click on done. So to add additional supporting files, you can go under information protection. Select Microsoft Information Protection. Click on automatically scan new files for Microsoft Information Protection sensitivity labels and click on save. And within information protection, you can select files and make sure you have enabled file monitoring as well. So now if you go back to connected apps, click on app connectors, select Microsoft 365. Let's quickly go back and select the Microsoft 365 and click on edit settings. Here you can see additional things you can add, like Microsoft 365 files is already selected. So if it is not selected, you can come in here and select Microsoft 365 files, click on connect to Microsoft 365, click on done. Additionally, you can configure the data loss prevention as well. So to do that, if you go under Microsoft Purview portal, under solutions, click on data loss prevention. We have already seen an example of data loss prevention. Let me quickly show you one more example. If you go under policies, this is where you would be able to create a new DLP policy. If you want to use an existing template, you can choose that. If not, click on next. Give a name for your policy. I'm going to call this as a sample policy. Click next. No admin units. Next. Where you want to apply the policy will determine where you want to enable it. So if you just only want to apply to OneDrive accounts, select that. So last time we selected devices. So click next. Create and customize advanced DLP rules. Click on create a rule. Here, give a name for the rule. I'm going to call it as IBAN. We are going to create a rule for international banking account number, and scroll down under condition, click on add condition. So I'm going to say that this time content is shared from Microsoft 365 because we made that connection. And under that, there are many options, only with the people inside my organization, with people outside my organization. So I'm going to select with people outside my organization. Scroll down till you find user notification. By default, that will be turned off. Let's find the user notification and turn the user notification on. And scroll down till you find the actions and click on add action. Here we are going to select restrict access to encrypt the content in Microsoft 365 locations and block only people outside your organization. Click on save and your policy is applied or created. Click next and you can either run it in simulation mode or you can turn it on immediately. Click on submit. Next, let's go and learn about how to create an insider risk management policy. So under Purview portal, so let's go to Purview homepage. Under solutions, scroll down till you find insider risk management. Select that. Within that, there is policies, and let's go and create an insider risk management policy. Click on create a policy. This time we are going to create a policy for data leaks. For that, you have quick policies templates. I'm going to select data leaks and give a name for the policy. Let's call it as data leaks test policy. Click on create a policy, and that is going to be scoped for all users and groups in your organization. But if you want to further customize it, I would encourage you to not use a policy template. What you can use is instead of that, click on custom policy and you can start from scratch as well. So these are some of the additional things compared to the last one we have learned. I hope the information provided in this was useful. I will see you on the next one. Take care.